Here's the most important economics lesson you are ever going to learn, and it's all about supply and demand. Okay, so here's what the supply and demand chart looks like. We've got price on the vertical axis, we've got quantity on the horizontal axis, and for this example, we're going to be talking about milk. Okay, now the first line that we're going to draw on our chart is the supply line right here. And so you have to think about it. Basically, if the price of milk was really low, there's probably not a whole lot of dairy farmers that are willing to create milk. And so the quantity of milk being produced, or the supply, is going to be low. But if the price of milk goes up, it becomes a much more attractive business. And so there's probably going to be more people that want to produce milk and make money in the milk industry. And so as the price goes up, the supply is also going to go up. This here is our supply line. Now the second line that we're going to draw here is our demand line. And the demand line is kind of the opposite. If the price of milk was super high, the amount of demand, or the quantity demanded, would be extremely low. But as the price of milk falls, the amount of demand for milk will gradually increase, and the amount of supply required will increase. The idea here is that nobody would be demanding and buying milk if it cost you $5 to have a bowl of cereal, but if it only cost you 10 cents to have a bowl of cereal, everybody would be eating cereal with milk and they would be feeding it to all their kids. And so the demand for milk would increase if the price is lower, but if the price is high, the demand, or the quantity demanded, is very low. Now, the point at where these two lines intersect here, this is going to be our market price. Where the demand meets the supply, that is going to be the market price for milk. Now, when people say that prices change based on supply and demand forces, here is what they mean. So let's say that the current price of milk right now is $2, but all of a sudden, a big warehouse full of milk gets too hot and a bunch of milk gets spoiled and it goes bad and the supply gets shortened. Well, all of a sudden, what's going to happen here is this line is slowly going to move over to the left here because there's less quantity available, and that is going to move the price up to $3. And that is why the price moves from $2 to $3 when there is a lack of supply or an increase in demand. That's why the price shifts along these lines here, because the price of the market is where the supply meets the demand. So if you can start to understand the forces that affect the supply or the demand of a commodity, a product, a stock, basically anything, that's how you can start to determine whether or not the price is going to go up or down.